simplify it into two types of communications, right? One is speaking to an individual, saying that, okay, I can see that you feel like a separate self. There is no separate self, but I can show you how to not be a separate self. And they will be prescriptive in that you can do meditation or you can do whatever. It's not about right or wrong. Right. It's not that they're wrong or right or whatever.
Michael, sorry, you want to say hello?
The other communication. So this is a feature of individualism. Really, it's just a part of the story of the apparent individual. And there's just acres of them. It's everywhere. It's spirituality. It's in everything. It's not wrong or right. It just appears to be what's happening. There's a clear communication that doesn't feed any individual because it sees clearly. It's nothing but an apparent self. So the communication is shared without agenda or end goal, or there's no agenda for it to be heard or not heard, or for someone to get angry or not get angry, because there is nobody seen that's there. And it resonates very differently. Energetically, it's very differently. Energetically, it's much more confronting to the person, because the person would feel that it would sense quite clearly that, or can sense quite clearly that this is not a good place for them to be.
I understand. I mean,
because in that, like from this perspective, the individual is individualizing. That's the only thing the individual is interested in. It's not like when this is shared and these meetings are shared. There's nobody addressing the individual, because there's no individual in this room. There's no individual anywhere.
Appears to be individual.
Yeah, there appears to be, but there's no so there's no speaking to the individual. So it's heard as it's heard. Then,
I get that.
Yeah.
No, I get.
So it's very different. It's very, very. I mean, people talk about non-duality, and they say, but most of what happens under non-duality or Advaita is speaking to an individual. Again, it's not right or wrong, but it's speaking to a person who can get somewhere. From this perspective, there is only oneness already. So how would you you're not there, you are already oneness. So there's nothing speaking to you to say that you could get somewhere with it will only reinforce your sense of being an individual.
Yeah, which is an illusion anyway. So you don't want to reinforce the illusion, the lie.
Well, it's not. There's a passion for freedom, like we were talking about freedom. It's essentially what it boils down to. It's about freedom. That's what we're talking about. And there's a passion when it's seen that there's a passion there can be a passion for the communication, and which is that there's no agenda and there's no question and there's nothing to talk about. But yet the question seems to come here. What's it all about? And then there's a response out of nothing here. It comes from nothing and is out of nothing. So when there's no question, there's no answer, because there's nothing to.
But you had a breakthrough of that in that.
I appeared to from if you feel like a person, you would feel that something happened to Kenneth.
Exactly.
But when it's seen, it's very obvious that nothing happens. Nothing happened, and there is no Kenneth. So it's a move away from that linear movement of I'm pottering away and I'm doing this. So then this happened to you. Do you know what I mean? That's it's complete departure from that perception, which is the individual's perception of time-based linear. So that's why it's completely bamboozles the person when they hear it, because they're like, well, what do you mean nothing happened? Well, this is nothing happening.
Right.
So when you communicate it, the first thing that would generally come up was, well, what happened to you then? And can you tell me your story about what happened to you? And really what's been asked is, how did you get to where you are, and how can I replicate that or do something to get where you are now?
Right.
And then that will be, if it's a clear communication, will be knocked down pretty quickly, because there may be a telling of the story, a parent's story, or there may not very often here, but it doesn't matter if it is. But the point of telling the story would be to say that it was realised that nobody did anything together, and nothing that happened. Like before you came here, we were just talking about meditation, and it was seen that this was it, but immediately it was sensed that nothing had brought about that seed. So it would appear to happen despite what it goes before. So that's just
So
Mine doesn't like that at all.
Meditation is an avoidance.
Meditation's like, from this perspective, it's like going for a bike ride. I mean, a bike ride's not going to get you anywhere but maybe your destination or whatever. But like, it's no better or worse than anything else. But the problem with meditation, our apparent problem, is in most of it is that you're sold something that if you do that, you'll get someplace that's somewhere better.
And there's nowhere to get.
It's total bullshit. I mean, this is it. There is nowhere to get. So it's a total avoidance, like you say, of what already is.
So if we put you and Jim Newman in a room together,
there
would be nothing to be said because no one's there to say anything.
Generally, I would find that when this is seen, that often there is very little to be said. Because if there's no question, there's no answer generally. So generally, people would think, oh, you'd have a great chat with such a person. Maybe I don't know. I don't fucking know. Why? Maybe. I mean, there's nobody here. There's questions and there's apparent answers.
Right.
You know, and like we said, there's no Jim. There's no Kenneth.
There's no me.
There's no. Well, no,
there isn't Michael
There's a story.
There's no Paul Lowe.
There is. So are you
No.
He's not here either.
Are you here? Are you here? You're here. You're not here. Do you know what I mean? But like
the only thing that's here now is that clock.
This time exists.
I'm just gonna hold this here.
You know you've seen Lifebuoys. You know you've seen Lifebuoys by the river or the sea. You know this Lifebuoy. This is this guy's Lifebuoy here. He's been holding on to it all day.
He's been holding on to the clock all day.
This is his. He's gone. If he doesn't have it.
When this madness is at 5 o'clock, I don't have to have my mind tortured anymore by this Irish guy. I pay good money to have my mind tortured. All my hopes and dreams have been shattered.
Oh, I love it.
Then he's done a great job.
That's what I just mean. I mean that statement is like your bingo. All my hopes and dreams.
All my pictures from now on with my friend.
Let me see. Where's? Oh,
you're gonna get a big pocket watch. I'm keeping it in your shirt so you can.
I'm gonna have this.
The next time I see you, you're gonna have a watch. You're gonna have a watch
out of the workshop, huh? This is what you got out of the talk today.
Time.
Hi, this is my friend.
Time is
Time is your friend?
This is my escape. Yes, it's 5:46. Are you videotaping this?
No, it's just... Anyway, I get it, I think.
I didn't know you were disappointed.
Fantastic.
He's a better student than you are, Michael. He's only here 10 minutes.
He's been 10 minutes and he
There's
didn't
nothing to get. I'm there.
You zoomed ahead of the entire group in 5 minutes.
That's not me. There's no one. I can.
He keeps going. Not even him.
I can say it, but do I believe it?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe a word of it.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, no, seriously though, there is nothing to believe. Like if someone came and said, "Well, I believe what you're saying," but don't fucking believe what I'm saying. Why would you believe what I'm saying? I mean, if you say to me, if someone says to me, "I believe what you're saying," I say,
I believe that.
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm talking in general terms. I'm generally, this is a very impersonal message. So generally, everything that's said is very in general terms. But like, I mean, if someone says, "I believe what you're saying," I'm like, well, that's what's happening then. I mean, believe. There's nothing to believe. It's not conceptual. It's not like if someone goes away with another concept of, well, there's no me and it's concept. I mean, what's the point? I mean, that's not an aim here or a goal.
But you live this way all the time.
I don't live it. I don't live anyway.
You don't?
No, because there's just aliveness. This is the drop. The drop was someone who was living their lives to see that there's just life. So nobody then lives it. Like, I mean, people take this on conceptually and then feel they're living in a non-dual way. It's complete nonsense. They might as well have signed up to Scientology. I mean, it's total bullshit. Like, this is what's being suggested here is a full-on aliveness of the realization or the scene, which is a lived reality of there's just aliveness. There's no, it's not a concept or a belief or a...
Didn't Leonard Cohen say something similar to what you mentioned there? He says, like, he said when he went off to the monastery, he was off for 5 or 6 years or something, but when he was leaving, he was interviewed and said, well, what's this whole enlightenment thing, or what happened, like, to say
Oh,
that
I
you
put
left
that
her?
up on Facebook. Did you see
you
that?
put it up.
Yeah, I thought
And
it
he
was
said,
brilliant.
Well, look, yeah, you
What did he say?
Sell it better. He said, well, it was actually just realizing that there's actually nothing to get. and that's what.
What happened was he was interviewed. I'm a big Leonard Cohen fan. I just love the music, right? I came across this interview.
Depressing, but anyway, yeah.
Well, no, actually, you're not. You haven't seen him live, so
No.
don't go home with your heart on. I mean, what? Come on, man.
I won't. If I had a-
He's got some pretty lively songs.
Yeah,
anyway,
okay.
anyway, but that's
Okay.
the whole Leonard
But what
thing.
did he say?
Anyway, what he said, he's interviewed, right? I have no interest in the whole Zen Buddhism side of what he was saying, but he says some lovely things in the interview. And she says, "You're in the monastery for 5 years, Leonard, and what was it that you realised?" And he said, "I didn't, it's not that I realised anything, I realised there was nothing to realise."
Wow.
Do you know,
Yeah.
and it's so beautiful the
I
way
think
he
he said
says
the
it.
guy.
It's not that I got anything, it's that I seen that there was nothing to get.
Yeah, he said the guy, I guess the Zen teacher was like a doctor, and then the interviewer says, well, what does he heal? And he heals the disease that there's anything to get.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
well, I like Leonard, but like I
Yeah.
mean, for me, there's obviously no teacher. There's no such thing as a teacher,
Yeah.
Zen teacher, any teacher. I mean, but like, I just enjoy the energy
Yeah.
that is whatever Leonard Cohen. I thought some of the things were good, you know.
Would you kind of, like, let's say you're walking down the street, and would you, I mean, obviously, in any given apparent individual, there's no one there.
Yeah.
Do you ever, like, there's no one there, you know, like, like that, like,
No,
there-
no, no,
you
no,
know what
no,
I mean?
no,
Like,
no.
there isn't even apparently.
No, I'll
a
tell you what, I'll
separate
say
self.
exactly. That's a very good point you're making, right? There's a perception is that,
Yeah.
Kenneth gets this, and maybe this other person gets this, whatever. What happens is, right, there's a sense of being a person, which is an energetic cellular contraction into a sense of being me,
Yeah.
and it just seems to fall away. It appears to
Right.
fall away. And in that, it seemed it was only artificial to begin with. So what happens is, it's just seen by nothing. There is no body. There's no separation. There's no separation here or
Right.
anywhere. So it's not that I feel separate, but you feel you're separate, you're still separate, or you're still separate. Gone. There's only one apparent separation.
Right.
So that's why
Once
there's no
yours
agenda.
drops away.
That's why there's
Yeah.
no agenda. When
Yeah.
this is clear, communicated clearly.
Yeah,
How could there be an agenda? Because there is no separate self.
right.
So when there's walking down the street, all there is bodies, cars, sights and everything. There's no sense, suddenly, that guy looks like he's not there. Do you follow me?
Yeah, I
So
do.
even when someone says to me, it's whatever time, and I think, or someone tries to sell me, they open their mouth and they're clearly
Right.
a person who's fucking
Right.
talking to me that
Yeah.
going, selling me something,
Right.
or
Right.
Scientology